everybody, it's Alyssa. Welcome to the first video on this channel. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Alyssa. I made this reading channel because I wanted to basically show my passion for all things books. I do have a main channel which has 134,000 subscribers right now, so if you guys are coming from that channel, thank you guys so much for checking out this channel and subscribing. Or if you're new and you don't know anything about my main channel, basically I just love reading, so I wanted to make a channel just to show my passion for reading, and I basically already said that, but this is what this channel is for. It's basically just going to be a whole channel on just like reading, book hauls, vlogs, any fun reading stuff is going to be on this channel. So if you guys have any video ideas for this channel, then just comment them down below and I'll take them into consideration. Today I'm doing one of my favorite types of book videos to watch, which is book hauls. I love watching book hauls for some reason. I have no idea why. I think it's just because I like to see what others pick for themselves. I don't know. So over the past 2 months, I've bought 20 books. There's still some coming in the mail, but if I keep waiting to do this video, waiting for things in the mail, this video is never gonna happen. This is a haul from the past 2 months, January and February, of books that I have bought. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because this is a huge haul. So the first book that I picked up was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I've heard really good things about this book series. I don't know too much of what it's about other than there's a circus that arrives at the nighttime, which you probably never could have guessed by the title. And apparently there's a competition between two magicians. That's pretty much all you get from the back of the book, but apparently they fall in love with each other. My favorite types of books when there's a romance blooming, so hopefully this is good. I've heard really good things about it. I got this used for like $4 on the Mercari app. Here's a tip: if you guys like to buy used books, Mercari is a really good app to buy used books, and I have like a huge credit on there, so I've literally pretty much got this for free, but technically it was like $4, so I picked that up. And this doesn't seem like, this is not the type of book that I would typically read, and I want to try to step out of my reading comfort zone a little bit and read stuff that I don't normally read. Next, I picked up The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I'm really bad at pronouncing names. You guys will learn this. I am awful at pronouncing authors' names, so don't get mad at me for that. Also, I got this on the Mercari app, and it was also signed by Maggie, so I thought that was really cool. Someone was selling this for $8 signed, so I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. And I've heard really good things about this book series as well. From what I can gather about the synopsis about this is basically there are these preppy schoolboys named the Raven Boys, which the main character is known not to talk to the Raven Boys because they're not very good people and they're always getting into trouble, but she falls for one of them. That's pretty much all I know from it. I don't know if it's a fantasy, but I love ravens, obviously, and anything that has to do with ravens I'm really interested in, so I like the fact that it's called The Raven Boys, and I've heard really good things about it, and it was signed, so pick that up. Next, I picked up Existence and Predestined by Abby Glines. I'm currently reading Predestined right now. I started it this morning and I'll probably finish it tonight. But basically the summary of this book is the main character named Pagan can see the souls of people who have passed away, and she can also see the physical form of death, the human form of death, and his name is Dank. It's a really ugly and gross name. I don't know why the heck she decided to name Death Dank, but that's his name. I'm not gonna spoil the story, but basically she can talk and see death and souls passing on to other places, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna give for the story. But I already finished the first book, and like I said, I'm reading the second. Not a big fan of the second book so far, but I remember reading this in middle school, so I wanted to pick it up. It's basically just like a very cliche paranormal romance series. Next, I picked up Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and I really wanted to pick this up for a while now, especially because one of my favorite booktubers, Emma Books, I know that she absolutely loves this series, and I have some of the same types of interest in genres and stuff as she does, and it did sound really good. So when I went to Barnes & Noble, I went ahead and picked it up. Basically, it's about a world where there's no death, no misery, hunger. Basically, it's like a perfect world, but these people called the Scythes are the ones that can end people's life. And basically, it's just a telling of, I believe, the perspective of the people called the Scythes who can end people's lives and stuff, which is so interesting to me. So this sounds really good. I'm definitely going to be reading this in the next month or so, I hope. Hopefully I'll get to it. Next we have Who Runs the World by Virginia Bergen. So on the front of the cover it says the XY. He has never seen a girl, she has never met a boy. So I was on Goodreads looking up the XY thinking that that was the name of the book, and then I was also looking up the author on Goodreads just to see what the name of this book was, but it's actually called Who Runs the World. That's what the name of the book is, but the title of the book is not even on the cover. I've seen mixed reviews on this book, but it sounded really interesting, so I picked it up at Barnes & Noble. It's about a world where males don't exist, and basically their entire gender was wiped out, basically, and there's only females, and this female comes across a male, and that's pretty much what that's about. It sounded really interesting to me. Hopefully it's good. I just don't really understand why the name of the book is not on here, like at all. Next I have Loyalty by Megan DeVos. This is the book 2 from the Anarchy series. Book 1 is called Anarchy, and it's basically just a dystopian, I think that's what it's called, when basically the world has gone through like an apocalypse and people are just fighting to survive. It's basically one of those types of stories. It's really good. And the book 2 came out, so I pre-ordered it and got that. Then I got Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. I've had this on my Amazon list for a while, and I went ahead and picked it up at Barnes & Noble when I went, and it seems like a really nice like contemporary romance, and I think it's just about this boy and a girl that cross paths and they swap numbers and stay in touch via text. So it's kind of like the conversations are in text form, like they're texting each other, and I've never read anything that's like that. I don't know if you can see the back of the book, it looks like a text form. So I think it'll be kind of cute to see how this story plays out, and I've heard good things about it, so I'm hoping to read this soon. Next is Crown of Feathers by Nikki Pau Preto, and this came in this month's Owl Crate box, and it came with these beautiful purple sprayed edges. I love books that have colored edges so much. I just think they look so cool, and the Owl Crate exclusive edition is beautiful. And like most Owl Crate books, it is signed by her, which is really cool to have. But basically this is about a girl who I believe has a sister or a couple sisters that she has to fight to the death to become queen, and she rides like phoenixes and stuff like that. So I think it sounds like a really good story. It sounds like a very high fantasy, which is not the typical books that I read, but I've been trying to get into high fantasy lately and I've been really liking them, and I've heard amazing things about this book, so I'm really excited to read it. Next is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chosky. This came in last month's Owl Crate box, and it is also signed by the author. I'm going to be reading this for the Books with Friends book club live stream for the month of March. This is basically just a heist story based in the 1800s, I believe. Yes, it's based in the 1800s, and basically this group of people have to hunt down an ancient artifact, which sounds really cool because I just finished Six of Crows and I really liked the kind of heist that was in that book, so I'm really hoping this has more of a heist in it and is a lot better than Six of Crows when it comes to that, because I think I'll actually really like it. Next, I have the Twilight book series because my grandma was going through her books and getting rid of ones she didn't want anymore, and she knew that I love Twilight, the movies. I've actually never read the book series, which is so surprising because it's like one of the OG paranormal romance stories that I ever encountered. So she just gave me all of her books. So yeah, Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. There's not much that I have to say about this series that most of you guys don't already know. And lastly, I have not all of the Vampire Diaries books, but I have most of the Vampire Diaries books right here, because if you guys don't know from my main channel, I'm absolutely obsessed with the Vampire Diaries TV show. So I decided to go ahead and read the book series, even though it is very different. So I got The Awakening and the Struggle, which is the first and second book put together in one book. I've already read this, and I also have it in paperback form, but I bought it in hardcover, used on eBay, and it was okay. Then the second book is The Fury and Dark Reunion, which is basically the third and fourth book in the series put into one book. Then after the main series, there's a spin-off series called The Return, and this is The Return Volume 1 called Nightfall, The Return number 2, Shadow Souls, and The Return number 3, Midnight. And then there's also another series of the Vampire Diaries, I forgot what it's called, it's like The Hunters or something like that. And there's like 3 or 4 more books in that series that I still have to buy. But I went ahead and got all of these off of eBay for really, really cheap, just so I could start reading the Vampire Diaries books and compare them to the TV show. So that was all of the books that I have hauled in the past 2 months. It may not be a lot to you, or it may be a lot to you. It's a lot for me. I don't normally buy this many books, at least brand new. Most of them I buy used for $2 or $3 at used bookstores or eBay. Yeah, comment down below if you guys have any of these books and if you recommend reading them. I'm really excited to get to all of these. I know I keep saying that I want to read them all soon, but that probably is not gonna happen. And like I said, if you guys have any video ideas for this channel, then comment down below. I'm going to start doing weekly reading vlogs, probably not every week because I do work full-time, so I won't be able to record that much, but I'm gonna try to do weekly reading vlogs because those are my favorite types of videos. Reading wrap-ups, anything like that you guys want to see, comment down below. I'm super excited for this channel. I feel like I finally am going to have a place where I could just talk about the things that I love, because I don't really have friends, if I'm being honest, and I definitely don't have friends that like to read, so it would be really cool to have a little community where I can talk about books. And I don't know, I just feel like it would be really fun because I don't have anyone to talk about books with. So anyway, follow me on my social medias so you guys can see future videos, or if you just want to follow me. And I also have a PO box on the screen. If any of you guys want to send me packages, drawings, letters, books, anything that you'd like to send me, you can send it to me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!